Every step, every story, and every hustle. We're backing your journey. Together, let's build that dream from the start to something spectacular. MTN.
Good afternoon, welcome to the Swedro Stadium. It's MTN FA Cup action here. It's the business end of the competition where the teams literally mean a business. Semi-final games coming off today and tomorrow as 4 teams hope to nail a spot in the grand finale. Just 2 spots available in the grand finale. Today there's 1 spot up for grabs and we have Aduana Football Club taking on Nations FC. Both teams are yet to taste victory as far as MTN FA Cup is concerned. Both teams chasing their maiden trophies in this one. But then there's a crunch game and both teams will be hoping to have a go at each other. Then tomorrow we'll bring to you another big one where past winners, that's Dreams FC, will take on 2-time champions of the competition, Mediama Sporting Club. On that note, let me welcome you once again to the Swedro Stadium where it promises to be an action-packed weekend. Today, tomorrow, and then we'll wrap up. My name is Josiah Okokwe. You're live on Max TV, and I'm not doing this alone. I'm actually here with 2 gentlemen. One, a veteran coach, if I should put it, very, very experienced, and then also a regular pundit always with us, Francis Aboyebo Blackgate, and then also Coach Ernest Thompson. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
See, the weather is, the sun is literally blazing. You can feel it, like the sun. But let me begin with you, Coach. I don't know. Is that atmosphere treating you well? I don't know, because for me, I'm on fire. I'm on fire, literally.
Yeah, we are all on fire, but the weather is not being very fair to us, just like you said earlier. But we hope it will come a little for us to, have a very good football action going on this afternoon. So, well, it's part of the job, so you always have to take it like that.
But Francis, have you already enjoyed the atmosphere, the ambience here in Swedro? How do you see it?
Well, it's beautiful. It's good for association football. And these teams here, Aduana and the Nations FC, will be raring to go come the blast of the commencement of the game here this afternoon. But if you walk around town, earlier when we stepped into town, we tried to go and catch some lunch. Yeah. We saw the vibe on the streets of Swedro. It's a beautiful community, and the people are very welcoming. And for me, the most important thing is the organizers of the competition have basically put in place everything to make the entire euphoria electric for everyone here to enjoy at the Swedro Sports Stadium.
So I'm here with Francis Aboyebo Blackgate and then also Coach Ernest Thompson. Coach, your last job was actually with
Elmina Sharks.
Elmina Sharks, and since then we've not really seen you.
Yeah, I went into hibernation and I'm just staying away from the pitch for this season. Next season you usually see me coming back better and better.
Sure, but let me take your view so far this season, 2025-26 MTN FA Cup. It's become a very, very important competition for teams hoping to have a feel of what Africa tastes like. We've seen the likes of Dreams FC in Swatraman all win this competition in the last couple of years. But what's your take on the competition so far?
Well, it's been, should I say, the tag of Obiano seems to have not being in this season's game, because looking at this semi-final, we have all premier teams playing at this stage. But previously, it used to be that we see Division 1 teams coming up even out to this stage and they're going on to win the trophy at stake. So Obianyo Biado, but this season it is not there. It is purposely for Obi because the premier teams have shown their might and they are here at the semis.
But Francis, what do you have to say so far about the competition? Yes, certainly, we would have the 4 remaining teams hoping that at least, the winner would be aiming at Africa. Yeah, I want to go to Africa, and do something. Especially for the 2 teams playing today, none of them, have ever won this competition before. But let me take your view of the competition so far.
Well, if you look at the MTN FA Cup, basically pitches the lower tier football clubs against the elite clubs in the Ghana Premier League. But for once, in some years now, you can tell that the 2025-2026 MTN FA Cup tournament, most of the teams in the Premier League have taken the competition serious this year. They've seen that the competition in the Premier League is so tight, and this presents you with another opportunity to have a route to go into Africa. We've seen Dreams FC use this route to go into Africa. And by far, in some number of years, that's the last time we've seen a proper campaigner from the Ghana Premier League in the CAF competition, where they went into the semi-finals of the CAF Confederations Cup and got eliminated by Zamalek. But for me, if you look at the Aduana Stars, they've made their intention clear this season that they want to go and play for Africa. They start this day 4th position in the Ghana Premier League, and mathematically they see it as if they can't win the competition in the Premier League and then qualify to Africa. So they have to tackle the MTN FA Cup properly, where they can have another route. If they win it, they go into Africa. You look at Nations FC. Last season we saw how they played very well in the Premier League. About 4 matches to go, that was when they capitulate. But if you look at the other semi-finalists as well, all of them are raring to go. And for Aduana, Atapoku, the CEO of the club, right from the time they beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko in Kumasi via penalties, he made it clear that they want to go to Africa, and this is the route that they have chosen. So I'm not surprised that they are really attaching so much importance to this particular competition here in the semi-final. So it's tough. The elite teams this season are going to juggle among themselves to see the 2 best teams in the grand finale.
All right, so we're still building up to our first of 2 semi-final games slated for today here at the Swedro Stadium. 4 Premier League teams, 2 going at each other today, and have been joined by the head coach of Aduana Football Club. He is actually mourning. The entire club is mourning due to the sad and tragic news that hit Brekum Chelsea last Sunday, which accounted for the loss of one 20-year-old player who actually plays for Aduana Football Club. I'm here with Chiaiba Aristika. He mentioned the name to me, and since then I've never had it wrong. Chiaiba Aristika.
Yes, I am Chiaiba Aristika,
Aristika,
head coach from Aduana Star. Obroni man.
Obroni man. Yes. No, you've done the introduction, but first of all, commiserations. You know, my condolences to the entire club. You know, your young player, you know, just tragically being shot, and but so far, how's the club coping? You know, after that tragic news, we've seen some tribute, you know, being poured in. But how's the club coping after that news?
Yes, it's a very bad news about our player. Is young boy and have the life in the future. All the people, what time in the day see this news is not good. But after let condolences from the family, and after need concentration today from our game, and also play from the win and give this win from the Dominic, our player, what is the day.
But now let's move to the game. You are just 2 games away from winning a competition Aduana FC has never won before. Is that the aim for you? Are you looking at making history, you know, in this competition this season?
Yes, so what I am starting the competition, I will talking from our player about I have experience from this competition. I will win in the back 3 times the cup in Oman and in Tanzania. And I speak, let's starting every game, put the serious and win the game about you have chance only 5 games and you go from the final. If I waiting in the back, I talking today from our player. Please not forget this 4 games. You working very hard. You try the best, and you work 8 months to 9 months to coming today and play the semi-final. Not forget this your hard work and go today and continue fighting inside in the pitch. Respect our plan, respect our opponent about this one team good in the league from the Ghana, and try the best and win the game. About it's only 1 game and you possibly go in the final from this competition.
You speak about your personal achievement, 3-time winner of domestic cup competitions. Now in Ghana it's always tough because teams are eyeing Africa whenever they win this competition. But what do you think wins you this game, you know, to book a place in the final? What would work the magic for you today?
It's not easy the game about is the 2 teams like go win the game and play the final and try win the trophy. From possible need understand the trophy is not easy. Any club like go from bring the trophy, but it's not easy. The need serious, need working hard. Today no need any mistake. Let concentration from the first minute to 90 minutes. The player respect our plan and is possible go and win the game. This is the plan from today, but I think I am confident from the player. Is working well this 3 day, 4 day. Is listened us what need today from the game, and I like happy after the game and our team go from the final from this competition.
And finally, you have Sidibe Mafotu, number 9, is playing for you. Are you just going for with everything, all-out attack right from the blast of the whistle?
Yes, our team have our team have the plan. Sometimes is analyze the opponent, and sometimes if you see the middle from opponent, our team is go and play from 3 middle. But now the Sana is 1 middle who can go attacking, who can go defensive, and they help every time the team. If you like win the game and analyze the opponent, normal today starting from the CDB and the Mafu and understand what need us today from our plan and win the game.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you
and wish
so
you
much.
all the best of luck. Chaiba Aristika is the head coach of the Aduana Football Club. Personally, he's had success, not in the MTN FA Cup, but then, in other countries where he's coached. He's won the domestic Cup 3 times already, and he's aiming to win it for the 4th time, but then the first time in the history of Aduana FC. But standing in his way and a semi-final or a final bet is Nations FC. And I'm glad to have been joined by their head coach, Stephen Frimpong Manso. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
And first of all, let me ask a bit about the atmosphere here. Has it been conducive for Nations FC so far?
Yeah, I think it has been, because this is our 3rd time of coming here, and then in both matches I think we drew 1-1-1, so we think it's going to be still favorable for us.
But as a title-winning coach just last season, now you are guiding this Nations FC team here, and the league has not really been smooth for you. But how are you looking at this competition? What's the team, together with management, what do you feel about this competition? Is there a necessity to win this one and go to Africa?
Yeah, of course. It's a team that is Abrankese. We also won 1-0. So even the latest win was for us. So yes, we will want to make sure we know the team, and I'm sure.
And is also hoping to make history to win the MTN FA Cup with them, because they've never won it in their entire history. We're still building up to kick off in our first semi-final game today here at the Swedro Stadium, where Aduana FC will be taking on Nations FC. We are done speaking to the coaches. I'm still here with Coach Ernest Thompson and then also Francis Aboibo Blackgate. But Coach, you've heard from the coaches, and usually people pay key attention to what they say, prior to the game. We spoke to Chaiba Aristika, and he speaks about the fact that, on a personal level, he's had success as far as cup competitions is concerned. But you think there'll be pressure on him, from the football club to win this one?
Yeah, surely, especially with the fact that they lost a player, they loaned out to Brecum Chelsea. So they are in the morning mood in the first place, and that can even have an effect on their performance, because I see him to be a little disturbed person as he stood here, and you asked him about the death of Boateng, and I believe it will have an effect on the team in its totality. Because he was with them, he played with them, they shared jokes together and everything, and suddenly he's off. It will have an effect on the team, but they quickly have to take off their minds of that happening. And one thing that I always believe in is that the preparation for the week is very paramount. Whatever went into their preparation in the week, and then secondly, the kind of warm-up they will do just before the game will determine whether they will give a good account of themselves or may just battle it here. But he's this afternoon will determine who carries the day, and the one with the best planning and then system that they deploy, I believe will carry the day, because the two teams seems equally matched. I've watched their games, and I believe Aduana and Nations are equally matched. And you can't single out a player who you say you are relying on from Aduana to carry the day for them. Neither would you have the same player from Nations. Yes, you mentioned Simpson, but Simpson is more of a defensive player, so he doesn't come into the fray when it comes to the intent to win, unless he comes, for a corner kick and heads in, and then I think they get the goal. But to rely on him solely, like he's going to carry the team on his shoulder, no.
Wow. But Francis, Chaiba Aristika has spoken. Aduana FC this season, at some point we saw them, battling for the league title. Then they took a slump, and all of a sudden they are now fighting for a top 4 finish. But you look at the season they've had, and you tip them to go very far. Now they are very close, but with Nations FC in their way now, you think they have what it takes?
Yeah, you look at the two teams in the season under review, they cancel each other out by winning on each other's part. Aduana won at home, Nations won at home. Now is the decider. And the two teams will have to cancel each other out yet again in the semi-finals of the MTN FA Cup. It speaks about the quality dotted around the teams. You look at what Chioba Aristika set out to do this afternoon. In a 4-1-3-2 formation, with Mafo and Sidibe up front, you have Benjamin Chivanyo, who operates from the wing, the Black Starlets former captain, very good player, trickery, paces, drop off, jinx off shoulder. He has everything. It's just that he has the freedom to express himself. He spoke about Seydou Sana at the heart of the midfield. He is the main fulcrum of the team. He's the one that builds the attack. He's the one that distracts the opponent when they are attacking them. And it speaks about the quality. Look at Kufuor, whom they got from Nations FC.
Yeah.
He's now playing against his former team. It tells you the quality you bring on board this afternoon. For Gregory Setri, who was with Brecum Chelsea, the caliber of goalkeeper he is, not to even make it into the starting 11 of Aduana these days, talks about the squad in-depth of Aduana Stars. And Chioba Aristika has one thing. He spoke about his success in Tanzania in the cup competitions. He wants to replicate that here in Ghana with Aduana Stars. So he said for the players, the motivation is key. For a place in the final, they just got to step out there and express themselves. Because in terms of preparations, all the big players that are informed for them currently are out there in the starting 11. For Nations FC, you spoke about Coach Gripman, who is injured, and the coach told you that Buahin is stepping in. He has the qualities to replace him, but it's up to what he, together with Razak Simpson, will bring together. In terms of defensive partnership, coach will tell you. So now when you tweak it, when you don't play together, they might be individually, they might be good. But when you pair them, it becomes extremely difficult. So we live to see the partnership between Buahin and Razak Simpson, because for both of them, they've been very solid individually. Up front, they are one of the finest goal scorers in the Ghana Premier League, in Emmanuel Ano. On any given day, he will score. The last time they came to this stadium to play against 11 Wonders, he popped up with a brace here at this particular venue. So it tells you it's a good hunting ground for him. But this afternoon, he will be confronted with so much quality in the opposition in Aduana. But we need to see what he will bring to full bear, to see what the effects will be over the course of 19. But this is a potential epic blockbuster showdown loading in the first semi-final of the MTN FA Cup.
The clock keeps ticking, and we're still building up towards our kickoff here in the MTN FA Cup semi-final game. It's Nations FC against Aduana FC. We're live on Max TV, but it's now time to go for a commercial break. When we are back, we'll still be talking tactics, these two teams, their strengths and weaknesses.
Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, actually, the final touch that we have it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Take 5 minutes, guys.
The hustle is real, but Ghanaians are pushing it. I have been so inspired by what people are doing. If you now you know do for yourself, nobody go do for you. So you for do now.
Every step, every story, and every hustle. We're backing your journey. Together, let's build that dream from the start to something spectacular. MTN.
Welcome to Max by.
Babe, me sending messages.
Hey Jerry, this your phone. What is this?
Babe, relax. Today is the day I turn water into wine. We're in the promised land. Max Bar is here to save us, okay? Don't worry, I'm coming.
Make sure you don't embarrass me like you did the other time at the chopper. Oh, Mama, I am pulling.
Welcome to Max Buy.
You're welcome to Max Buy, Ghana's #1 electronic retail store with brands like Techno, Itel, Infinix, iPhone, Oraimo, Edifier, and Synix. We have over 40 shops nationwide, a convenient payment plan, online shopping, and home delivery. How may I help you?
You know, my queen deserves the best. Show me your top gadget here.
That was the same thing you said at the shoe shop the other time. I ate Chaliwa Tepi. Jerry!
Madam, don't worry. At Max Buy, we have everything for everyone and every budget.
Babe, imagine our anniversary selfies with this Techno Camon 30S. Everybody would think that we are Ghana's Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Welcome to Max Buy.
Power couple, papa.
Power couple, our phone into me power.
Max Buy has flexible payment plans for us.
Oh yes, you can pay in installments.
Hey, Yakuya, and who said this is your?
At Max Buy, we've got it all. Mobile phones, smart TVs, air conditioners, kettles, microwaves, blenders, and more.
It's your payment plan. When are you going to start chasing me for it?
Relax, Jerry. Max Buy makes it convenient for everybody. You can pay daily, weekly, or monthly. Just focus in making Madam happy. That's all. With over 40 shops nationwide, flexible payment plan, online shopping, and home delivery.
Welcome to Max Buy. Welcome to Max Buy.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, the final touch. There we have it. Subscribe. Take 5 minutes, guys.
People, the hustle is real, but Ghanaians are pushing it. I have been so inspired by what people are doing. If you now you know do for yourself, nobody will do for you. So you for do.
Every step, every story, and every hustle. We're backing your journey. Together, let's build that dream from the start to something spectacular.
Alright, so it's MTN FA Cup semi-final action here at the Swedro Stadium. All roads lead to the Swedro Stadium today, tomorrow, probably Sunday, because today we have the first of two semi-final games, Aduana FC against the Nations FC for a place in the grand finale. We just finished speaking to both coaches, and Cheba Aristika, head coach of Aduana FC, believes that they can make history, and then Stephen from Port Manso is hoping to claim another silverware with his second club in the space of 2 seasons. My name is Josel Kokwe. Don't forget we are live on Max TV, and I'm still here at pitchside with Coach Ernest Thompson and then also Francis Aboyibo Blackgate. But Francis, let me come to you now. You know, we are looking at Coach Frimpong Manso, what he did last season with Bibiedi Gold Stars. It was unfortunate he was asked just 2 games into the season, but you're looking at what he's done so far with Nations, and you talk about their chances, and how bright would you say their chances are in this competition?
Well, you know, if you're in the semi-finals of a competition, that tells that your quality, what you really did in the course of the competition. And for Nations FC, they start this day on the 12th position on the Ghana Premier League. Things didn't go well. That was how come they sacked Kasim Minga. But if you look at their position on the league table and you think that depicts their quality, then you might be laughing at the wrong side of your mouth, because this is a properly well-drilled team. On any given day, they can make life difficult for any opponent in the division. And for Frimpong Manso, we all know his exploit. Formerly, when he was with Bibiedi Gold Stars, he was the one that won them the Premier League last season. Yeah. It was in-house fighting that made them got him axed. It wasn't about performance on the pitch. For him, this season he would have loved to punch above his weight. Last season we saw what Nations FC did, but in the second half of the season proper, we've seen how he has molded this team. We've seen his blueprint on the team and the way he wants the team to play. With all fairness to him, first Achawate, Nations FC top scorer last season, got shipped out of the club outside. So if you look at him, you have to wait on the exploit or expect the exploit of Emmanuel Arnaud to be able to carry the team together with Razak Simpson. And so far they've not disappointed him. So if you look at him, I think in this game, he'll hold one of his own. And in terms of his qualities, his players are not household names, but on the pitch out there, they have the quality to trouble any team in the Ghana MTN FA Cup.
Coach, but contrasting forms for Nations FC in the league, they're not doing so well. You know, and they actually won their first away game of the season on this ground against 11 Wonders. But where do you gain that motivation from, especially when you know you are only 2 games away from winning a trophy, as compared to the league where you're not really going anywhere?
I would say Nations FC. Well, just like my brother said, you don't, or you look at them at the wrong side of the game if you look at the quality they have. Because they would actually do well when they are playing and will not allow you to have your way with them. Actually, I watched their last match against 11 Wonders, and the kind of display tells me that yes, they are in for this semis of the MTN FA Cup. The other side, Aduana, with Chio by Aristoka, he's also done very well. 4th place on the league as we speak. He's also worked his way into the semis of the MTN FA Cup, and all the 2 coaches would love to write their names in the letters of gold in the MTN FA Cup. So no one is going to give an inch. So both sides, I believe, with the kind of system they are deploying, 4-2-3-1 and then 3-5-2 with variations, it seems like it's going to be a very combative midfield game, with the variation coming from Aduana Stars. I believe they are going to have the game will be won in the midfield, looking at how they are deploying their team. So the one with the best, players who are ready to for the combat will win the game. That is how I say it.
But you're looking at the 2 marksmen for the 2 teams. Emmanuel Arnaud, he's got 9 goals already in this league this season. You talk about Emmanuel Mafu, another Emmanuel there. You know, started the season very well, got injured, came back, and he's also banging in the goals. But what are both teams going to expect from these 2, strikers, top players?
Definitely, if you want to win a football game, your top marksman has to be lethal, and you have to maximize the premium chances that you carved out in the phases of the game. And these 2 guys have proven that they are very lethal in front of goal. Provided you give them the right services, they can punish you at any given point in time. You look at Emmanuel Mafu, he's up front with Sidibe. And for him, he needs to play off the shoulders of Sidibe, and they come up with so much power, the right direct at you. With him in Emmanuel Sano, in Sana, he's someone that creates premium chances into attacking channels. And on the flanks as well, you look at Benjamin Chivanyo, he can come up with assists, he can pop up with goals on top of the pitch. So for me, basically, in terms of the attacking set, the team that will set out to maximize the premium chances that will be carved out will be the one that will walk away in this game, because this is potentially not a game that you will see ending in a 0-0 storm, and there are goals in this. Like Coach said, Nations FC are a team that thrives so much on set pieces. That is corner kick and then free kick into the box. They can punish you. Typical example is the captain of the team, Razak Simpson. He's someone that thrives on the set pieces. So it depends on the quality of the premium services that will be whipped into the box. You can come up with that. But for me, if you have a team like Aduana Stars, who have Sam Adams, who have Bright J, all these quality players on the bench, it speaks about the quality of the overall team. And it tells you that for this team, at any given point in time in the game, substitutions can improve the team. So if you're out there on the pitch, you know that if you're not pulling your weight, the coach can decide to run the substitutions at any point in time in the phases of the game.
But coach, again, we've spoken about the 2 marksmen who could be so lethal in front of goal. The coaches will be expecting more from them. But we look at the defenses as well, especially for Nations FC, where that partnership, Oko Gripman and then also Razak Simpson. Today, Oko Gripman and coach confirmed that he's out due to an injury. How big of a blow would that be to Nations FC?
Well, then they quickly... Well, Osei Kufuor is there. And Osei Kufuor, the last time, partnered with Razak Simpson, and it wasn't bad. So in the you always have to get a standby. And quick replacement will surely be Kufuor to come in for Oko Gripman.
So today he has Asante Boahin.
Yeah, Asante Boahin Asante. Yeah, joining. Yeah.
All right. So I know a player like Razak Simpson is always on the alert to do the sweeping at the back for the team. But just like we are saying, he needs someone to support him. He cannot do it alone. So he needs the support of his colleague defender. But just like I was saying as well, this match will be won from the middle. The services to the strikers will depend on how good of good services they get from their midfielders, you know. And then I believe in more of the flank play will open up defenses for them to score. And if they don't do that, and you try to play direct, you not get the results you want. So the midfielders should be trying to give good services and passes to their strikers if they want to win the game. So it depends on the midfield today. That is how I see this game that is unfolding.
Francis, you've broken down the tactical play we should expect from both sides, but let's look at the psyche of this team. You know, especially when you have the CAF Confederations Cup at stake. It's what most of the teams are aiming at doing, especially after Dreams FC's exploits. You know, what do you think both teams would need to do now? You know, looking at Aduana, yeah, top 4 finish could be okay for them. But then, what would it mean to win this title for the first time in your history?
Well, you know, it feels good to win a major trophy. The saying goes, a major season without winning any title is a failure. And you look at Chioba Aristika, with all the investment that Aduana has done into the squad this season, they would love to win this competition and go back into Africa, where they will not just represent Ghana, but to add up to the number, but just to go and perform better and put the Ghana Premier League back on the map, just like the way Dreams FC did some 2 seasons or 3 seasons ago. If you look at their intention, it's clear. For them to go to Nations FC and get Kufuor out of that team speaks volume, and they didn't get him easy because they went head-to-head with Kumasi Asante Kotoko for the signature of the centre-back, and for them to be able to convince him tells you their intent and where they want to go. They sold the project to him and bought into it. Atapoku, the CEO of the club, knows exactly what is at stake. You look at Sana, like Coach said, the team that will go into this game switched on, tactically disciplined, stay focused on the game, and convert the premium chances in front of goal, definitely win this game. Because these are games that make you in the eyes of the fans. It can make you a household name. Mind you, it's a World Cup year. It's an added incentive to the main actors of the game. That are the players that will be mounting the pitch over the course of 90 minutes. They know they are under the scout. The game is on premium channel, Max TV, this afternoon. It's being watched around the world because at the end of the day, everyone is watching this. At this time, how many matches will be played? It's Friday afternoon. All the major leagues are not playing. So it presents them the opportunity to step out there and give out their best. For me, this is one of the finest games we'll see this season in the MTN FA Cup. But the reality on the ground here is we have 2 good gaffers who cancel each other tactically on the touchline. And the players themselves, that will be fascinating battles dotted around this pitch over the course of 90 minutes. But hey, this is an epic showdown in front of us.
Epic showdown, certainly. We're still building up towards kickoff here. Kickoff will be at Zali at 3 p.m. But, Coach, again, I come back to you and I just need an answer. You are a coach even here before. What do you tell the players, especially with Aduana and all they've gone through in the last couple of days? It's been very, very difficult. But how do you psych the players to get the best out of them?
Well, it's all about, you know, psyching them up and telling them, boys, we are there. We just have a step and we are in the finals and we can lift the trophy. So give all you have. Don't reserve anything. Immediately we win this game, we are almost there for the trophy. So you just psych them to be prepared and then just tell them, go for it.
Thank you very much, Coach. And kickoff is upon us here at the Swedro Stadium. Join the feed for the first half action. We'll be back after 45 minutes. Prince Anand is your commentator.
Hello everyone, thank you very much. Welcome to a very, very busy Swedro Township where this afternoon we're bringing you the first of the 2 semi-finals in this year's MTN FA Cup competition. It promises to bring the best out of these 2 teams because these are teams that are fully prepared to go the full hog to maintain a 100% record and onward qualification to the very final. Thank you very much for joining us. This is the Swedru Sports Stadium. My name is Prince Anand, and I'll be running you through the highlights of the first 45 minutes. And I will be in touch with one of the able-minded coaches, who obviously has made a name for himself on the football field. And today he will be giving me bits and pieces of the summaries. It's Aduana Football Club taking on Nations FC Football Club in the first semi-final of this year's MTN FA Cup. The two teams are just about getting ready to join us on the field of play, ably led by our match officials for this afternoon, and we shall introduce them duly. The two teams will get onto the field of play. We've got one in white, one in green, the traditional colors of Aduana Football Club in their green outfit. Nations will be storming the field in their white colors. Promises to bring the best out of the two teams. Of course, they're all looking for positivity in terms of one of the keenly contested MTN FA Cup semi-finals. Of course, tomorrow gives us or brings us another opportunity to see two other combatants, Dreams Football Club and Mediama Sporting Club. We will see what both teams are made of, and that will be in the second semi-final. But this afternoon, all eyes first of all on the Swedru Sports Stadium, but again on these two clubs who have vowed fire and brimstone that they are carrying the day. Wherever you are watching us, thank you very much for joining us live on Max TV. I'll be taking a lot of technical input from Coach Nana Andy Sinnerson. But of course, the two teams are poised for action. Officials are also there. We will be observing a minute silence for the departed hero of Brecum Chelsea. The fans are gathered here. We've got kids from the second cycle institutions who are also here as both sides exchange the pleasantries. We'll be introducing the two sides to you pretty shortly. And of course, the officials for this first semi-final also ready for action. In the center of the circle will be Laye Daniel Ani Ayi, FIFA referee. Will be supported by Roland Nidodu Adi and Seth Ableto, with our fourth official, Abdul Adari Latif. Here's the lineup of Aduana, and this is how they would want to sort themselves out on the field today. Osai Prince will be in goal. Remember, Dumaku Boateng is starting together with the likes of Maxwell Arthur, Raymond Ajiman, Abukari Adams, Dauda Ben Sidibe, and Benjamin Chivano. A strong 11 being exhibited by Aduana head coach Chioba Aristika. We will take a look into what his thoughts are, at least going into the first 45 minutes of the game. And Aduana ably led by Seydou Sana, the captain. And Razak Simpson, as always, will put on the captain's armband for Nations FC. Nations are also presenting quite a strong and a formidable squad for this first semi-final. And officials, once again, Daniel Ayi Laye will be the man in the middle. Roland need 90 minutes, hopefully, will tell. But now we will have the observation of a minute's silence. And that's the reason why we're having the minute silent. The passing of Dominic Frimpong, agile player of Brecum Chelsea, who lost his life during an armed attack.
Thank you very much.
A minute's silence.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a painful loss for us. Dominic Frimpong was more than it was a family. Our hearts were his presence in our dressing room can never be replaced. But his spirit will always remain with us. We will honor him in every game we play. Rest well, Dominic. You will forever be one of us. Thank you very much.
Two representatives of the sides, Sam Adams, read the message on the part of Aduana, and Razak Simpson did same for Nations. A minute silence. Loving the camaraderie here from both sides. Of the FA Cup, MTN are here to show what they're made of. Receiving the applause on the far side, that's Nations FC. So there we go. It's all about set for the commencement of the big game. Like I said, Coach Nanandi Sinasin is here with me in commentary position, and I'll be falling on him as the game wears on for a better technical explanation of the game. But the two sides are ready and poised for action. Daniel Niailaye will be the man in charge, FIFA referee, and clearly he will be the distinction in terms of officiating here today. That's the lineup of Nations FC in their goal area, saying their final prayers before hostilities begin. Nations would be willing to get into the final, and it will be the very first final for Nations FC since they joined the Premiership. Are these the gentlemen? Is this the time for Nations FC to also clearly show that they have arrived? Indeed, in a chat with them, they said, Prince, if we do qualify for the final and if we do win it, we will make Ghana proud in Africa. Well, time will definitely tell. And it's now obvious that these school kids have taken the side they want to support, giving the applause to the vibrant Aduana Football Club side. A few of the players that will be standing out for Aduana, Osai Prince has been very, very competitive in goal this season, but they can also fall on their head striker Emmanuel Mafo, together with remember Adomako Boateng, very offensive-minded defender. Dauda Sidibe, Benjamin Chivanyo, two threats when there's a positive forward move for Aduana, and of course a stalwart in defense for Aduana, Samuel Osei Kufuor. Samuel Osei-Kufuor girded his loins at Bichim United before crossing over to Doma. Let's see how he performs as the game gets underway. Aduana FC sporting the green outfits, and there they come from right to left. Careful display of artistry. A lot will be expected from that youngster, Benjamin Chivanyo. What a player he is. He seems to be growing from grace to grace. And it will be the first injury for the head marksman for Aduana, Emmanuel Ano. Carved a niche for himself whilst playing for Bichim United a couple of seasons ago, but also has made a way into the national junior teams with some rich display of football. Razak Simpson will obviously be the man to guide the affairs of the defenders. He comes in with a lot of experience, finding himself in and out of the senior national team, the Black Stars. Center referee Niai believes a dead ball situation will be good enough for the commencement of the game, going the advantage of Nations. It's a long ball drilled forward. That's Kufuor's first header. Nations looking good as they hold on to the ball. But a quick turnaround. It's early days yet, and so both teams will require a little bit of time to settle. Razak in firm control, pushes the ball to the far side. Let's see how they will spread the game as they go through. Long ball in by Prince. But it goes over the line. Nations FC. Here's Emmanuel Ano. Keeps hold on to the ball, and then it's a long one forward, looking for options as they come through. Effort by Mashoud, not going too far. Osei Prince will start the game for Aduana. They're looking threateningly as they come forward to the near side. Can they keep it in play? Over the line it will go. Advantage will stay with the green shirted Aduana Football Club as they come forward. Carefully dealt in defense. The clearance wasn't the best, but fortunately Ivan Safo was saved by the ball crossing over the baseline for a goal kick. Goal kick it will be to Nations. Maxwell Arthur will be combining with Razak in defense. Long ball sent in. Good recovery by Aduana. Beats one and then sets up the pass. Then they come down the right hand side of the attack. It's a long crossing, but too weighted. It went over the bar, not even close to its target. And Nations will pick up the pieces. Thank you very much for joining us, Coach Nana Andy Sinnason. But so far, obviously it's early days, but have you noticed a pattern from the two coaches in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game? Indeed, it promises to be a very beautiful game. It's the first semi-final of the MTN FA Cup First corner kick advantage to Aduana. And this obviously will put Razak Simpson and his charges in defense under some amount of pressure as Aduana come forward looking for the opening goal. Referee stamps his authority in the 18-yard box. He doesn't want any mishaps there. Chivanyo with the corner kick sends it all the way back. It's a deep cross in. Heads go up, and that was a clear header from Isaac Asare in defense. It's not cleared yet. Marfo gets a foot to it. Handball. Referee was right there on the spot. Advantage will stay with Nations. Obvious handball in the process. The referee was closer to the spot, saw that. There's only 6 minutes played in the first semi-final of the MTN FA Cup. Nothing really to separate these two sides as they gird their loins and put the passes together, seeing whether they can outdo each other. It goes all the way back. And Osei Kufuor would shepherd the ball all the way to goalkeeper Prince Osei. Meanwhile, it was Emmanuel Ano who was lurking, looking for an opportunity. Player goes down and it's a Hensam Ponsan. He's up on his feet. Game will continue. Lots of Jama in the stands. Lots of noise. Supporters are here in their numbers. Nations have the advantage. Trying to come through the middle. It's an opportunity for a first goal. There was no need to elaborate about that. He had already threatened once or twice. But trust Emmanuel Ano to be in the right place at the right time for Nations FC. It's all smiles now for the team based in Abrankese. They have drawn first blood. He latched onto the ball very well, took his time, picked his spot. As you can see, goalkeeper came beckoning, but he was beaten to it. Simple goal for Nations FC. Nations FC lead by 1-0. Coach. Aduana 0, Nations 1. That's the scoreline. If you've just joined us, Emmanuel Ano registering the first goal in this first semi-final. Aduana would have to claw back and see whether they can draw level pegging. Seydou Sana was beaten to it, and it's another threatening move this time. It's Samuel Osei Kufuor to the rescue. Nicely done, no qualms about that. And Aduana would have to fight from the rear. That's a long pass, good enough, but again, careful defending. And Nations FC would have to be very, very alert. The long stretched foot of Isaac Asare of Nations, ensuring that no qualms befell Nations. But it's a corner kick, and this they will have to defend. Long ball in, but the header goes wide. No problems at all for Nations FC. On the bench for Aduana Football Club, they've got the likes of Sam Adams, and of course the Mercurial, the ever-present Bright Ajay is also on the bench, plus another of the stalwarts in defense, Stephen Anochi Bedu. They're all starting from the bench this afternoon. Header on Nations looking for men in open spaces. Samuel Osei gets there first. Long ball for the clearance, but Nations will say thank you very much. And it is Emmanuel Ano and his colleagues charging forward as they look for another opportunity for goal number 2. Ghost passes marker into the 18-yard box. Careful defending. Kufuor goes down, attracts the sympathy of the referee. Again, that was Samuel Osei Kufuor taking possession of the ball, trying to shield it from Emmanuel Ano. But Nations will come forward yet again. This time the pass is a bit too strong. Too strong for Emmanuel Ano to get to. Quick reaction from Osei Prince. And Nations will have another opportunity to come forward. And we've really not seen Aduana getting into the open spaces and of course showing the creativity in front of goal. That's a long pass now to the left-hand side of attack. Gathered nicely by Nations. Easy work in defense. They get themselves out of trouble. They look to push players forward. Brandon to the other side of the field. Razak sets up a pass that's good enough. Nations cross the center line. And anytime they do that, they look threatening. This time, no problems at all. Aduana would welcome the throw-in. Aduana Football Club have been in Swedru since Tuesday, going through the paces, putting the passes together, and of course lacing up their boots for this afternoon's encounter. Lovely work in defense by Razak Simpson. Experience being brought to bear. Nations are missing the services of Oko Gripman, but the likes of Maxwell and Cole will hold the fort pretty well. Nations on the offensive. Long ball into the 18-yard box, but the flag has already gone up for offside. This afternoon's match officials, a very, very highly experienced set of officials. Daniel Niailai is the man in the middle. Roland Nidodu Adi and Seth Ableto are operating from the sides. And Abdul Latif Adari is our fourth official. Referee, assessor and match commissioner, by the way, is Alexander Nikwe Kote. And it's Aduana on the offensive. Yes, Maxwell Arthur couldn't go far with the long ball and eventually is booted away out of danger zone. Good ball control. Sets up the pass, but unfortunately miscommunication between the two. In any case, the flag had already gone up for offside. Gradually inching towards the quarter hour mark. Aduana 0, Nations FC 1. And at this stage, it is Stephen Frimpong Manso who carries the blue ribbon. Nations take firm control as they try to get into the 18-yard box. Unfortunately, referee got in the way. Dead ball situation advantage in Nations. They will still look at coming forward. Joseph Ifa. And not goes past one. He lays on the pass. Lovely pass through the middle, but nicely read by the defenders of Aduana. Remember, Adumaku in the right place at the right time. And now Aduana would love to turn on the heat. Goes past two, but he's brought down in the process. That's some good footwork there. Went past one and wanted to go past the other. But unfortunately, it was Isaac Asari who got in the way. Aduana still have the advantage. Kufuor. Nicely controlled. They come forward. Lovely pass laid through there into the 18-yard box. Player goes down in the process and referee would give the advantage to Aduana and a yellow card in the process to Abdallah Mashoud for that foul on that wonder kid prodigy. And that's the replay pass, lovely laid on there. And then look at that telling pass from the middle. Clearly had the better of the defender. And the claim is that it probably should have been a red and not a yellow. He's the last man, okay, sure. That should be a red card. Well, Daniel Niai believes that it should be a yellow, and so he's shown the yellow card. Nations would have to organize the wall. They will have to defend. Meanwhile, Abdallah Mashoud, confirmation of the yellow card. And let's see what kind of opportunities will avail itself for Aduana. They've got Benjamin Chivanyo behind the ball. So it's remember Adomako Boateng. And so is Seydou Sana. Back in the day, if they had Stephen Anochi Bedu in there or Brighter J, it will be easy to tell who will effect the kick. Razak Simpson finds himself in the wall together with Joseph Ifa. They've been joined by Emmanuel Ano. And the fans are waiting to see whether this will be the equalizing goal. Referee blows the whistle. Shot was taken by Chivanyo, but against the wall. And Nations will be looking forward for a counter attack. Meanwhile, Razak is down. He seems to be in some amount of pain, Captain Razak Simpson. And there they wanted to use those long dangly legs and the spritey run of Brandon to go forward. That didn't happen. Razak says he's okay. Game will continue. Sana to the near side. Aduana are looking purposeful as they come forward. Adams lays on the pass, but it's cleared out into safety. Nicely done by Maxwell Arthur. Corner kick advantage to Aduana Football Club. And it's the young prodigy, Benjamin Chivanyo, behind the ball. A few players committed in the 18-yard box. That's a very long corner kick. Osei Kufuor brings it down nicely, gains the advantage. Did he? Yes. Throw in this time to Aduana. Aduana pushing men into the 18-yard box. They're looking to take the advantage. Throwing to the Doma base team. Good turn. Looks for the support. Ball is floated in. Chivanyo brings it down, but he slips, unfortunately. Good recovery as Aduana will come forward yet again. That's a good pass to the far right. Can he go through? No, he can't. But the cross comes in thick this time. Osei Kufuor's effort. He went up against Razak Simpson. This is the second time the strongman has gone down and stayed down. Let's hope that he can recover and recover fully. Meanwhile, it's a corner kick advantage to Aduana FC. And again, that was a long ball that came in. And that was Kufuor going up together with Razak Simpson. Corner kick. Razak is okay. Chivanyo gets ready to take the corner kick. Took a little bit of a bend, went out of play before coming in. This was noticed by the officials, and so it will be a goal kick. Benjamin Chivanyo, we haven't seen him in the 18-yard box do his thing, but he's been supporting, especially coming in from the flanks, and he's been the corner kick expert, as it were, taking all the corner kicks for Aduana at this stage. We've only done 21 minutes in the first half. It's still Nations FC who have that single goal lead. And Aduana would have to fight out of their defensive shell and come forward. Yes, Sana. So far, so good for Nations. They're holding on to their own, but Aduana are getting a lot more play as the game continues. There they come forward, this time from the far side. Oh, that's a lovely bend. That was quite a lovely bend. It could have gone straight into the net. It's a little bit of a twist and a bend there. Take a look at it again. Of course, goalkeeper Barrio had it covered. But from this angle, you get a better idea. The swing. That swing could have, easily hit the crossbar or dipped into the net. Free kick advantage to Aduana. Quickly effected. Sana employing the long passes, but this time around, that was a strong challenge that came in from Isaac Asari. Down went Hensa and Ponsa. Quite a strong challenge there. Aduana with a free kick. Lots of activity in the stands, as you can see. They're loving every bit of it here this afternoon. It's a long ball. It's headed away by Nations FC. Joseph Ifat to the rescue. But Aduana will swing the pendulum again. That last touch was from Kufuor. And Kufuor, so far, he's covered a lot of ground. 1 minute he's in defense as he clears there. The next moment he's joining the attack. Roland Niadi says it's an offside. Aduana looking good now as they come forward. He has an opportunity. Well blocked. Corner kick advantage. And Aduana, it is not for want of trying. They are trying to create the opportunities as they come forward. They've won majority of the corner kicks so far as the first half is concerned. And they are still probing. They're still coming forward. Barry says he's ready for the corner. This time it will be effected by Remember Adomako Boate. Solid header away for the clearance. Chivanyo's rebound could not cause any problems. And it's another forceful thrust by Aduana through the middle. And eventually Razak Simpson clears out. Nations, can they take the advantage? It's a swift counter attack as they come forward. Nicely done and held in check by Raymond Ajiman. Sana. He maintains his composure. He lays on the pass. Referee noticed a late tackle and will give the advantage to the team from Doma. A forceful thrust there from Sana as he kept going and going and going. Maxwell with a free kick. Manuel Marfo's header went in the opposite direction. But Aduana will come forward yet again. This time it's long. It's big. Abdella to the rescue. And Nations keep it in play. Nicely done. Emmanuel Ano. Can he get to it? Good footwork. It's a bit too strong though for him. Appealing for the hard tackle. And Razak Simpson goes down, but the flag was already up. It looked like a little bit of a charge in the back. And Razak will have the advantage. Long ball in there. And that was the trip from behind. A very unfortunate one by Ben Sidibe. But Razak was able to maintain his composure and his calm. Razak Simpson, by the way, comes from a very strong football family. Razak's sister, Aisha Simpson, used to be a regular goalkeeper for Ghana Army ladies. And so it looks like the family is a defensive-oriented family, as it were. "26 minutes gone in this first semi-final, as teams will be allowed for a quick water break. It is Aduana who are trailing by 1, and clearly you can see Chioba Aristika, the head coach, is not too happy with the way things have gone. For Frimpong Manso, he's leading by 1 goal, but he will still urge the team to come forward and see whether they can get a couple more goals, probably before the end of the first half. But so far, it's been very, very close. Some tough marking by Nations FC in defense, preventing Aduana from getting the leeway to do what they would love to do. But of course, Aduana have also created a couple of chances in the game, and the hope is that at least they might be able to put smiles on the faces of many of their fans who have made their way here to Swedru to support the team. We understand that leadership of the management team of Aduana Football Club put a bus or 2 together for the fans who would want to come to Swedru to not only enjoy themselves, but to see the team pick up a ticket for the very final. And so there'll be lots of pep talk going through. Razak Simpson believes that together with his colleagues in defense, they have it covered. He's led by example. He's really kept his composure in defense, and it's one of the reasons that it's been very difficult for Aduana to penetrate, as it were. But back on the field they come, and game will continue very, very soon. Amponsa has been quite tough. That's Henson. And Ni Ayilai, the center referee, will get the game underway in no time. Aduana 0, Nations 1. That's the scoreline we have for you. 28 minutes gone. First semi-final of the MTN FA Cup. Game will continue in earnest. Prince Osei with that long clearance. There's a chase for it. Prince will obviously get there first. Throws the ball down, eager to find Abdallah Mashoud, who also threads the long one through the middle. Emmanuel Ano is being searched for, but that pass was a bit too strong. Prince came out. The clearance wasn't as effective as he would have wanted. And they just could not clear the ball tidily enough. Now Aduana are chasing shadows. Fortunately, they managed to claw back some pride. Throw in quickly effected by Abubakar Adams. Lovely pass laid through. Into the 18-yard box. Chivanyo pushes it on a bit too far. Nicely recovered by Razak Simpson. Sometimes at this stage you need some amount of experience, especially on the part of Benjamin Chivanyo. Okay. Wow. Sure. Yeah. Game will continue. Aduana still trailed by 1. Nations have an opportunity as they come forward on the right-hand side of attack. That's Brandon. Tries to go through the middle. Nicely read and cleared out by Maxwell Arthur. "31 minutes gone." Nations are looking threateningly for goal, and number 2, the cross is on, but defended nicely. Aduana will be bringing on some fresh limbs. I've seen 2 of their most experienced players warming up. Daniel Awuni is one of them, and then of course the strong man in defense we spoke about earlier, Stephen Anochi Bedu. Meanwhile, opportunities for a goal. Nations will still probe. Shot across the face of goal, did not get to the intended target, and it's a clear out by Aduana as they come forward. This looks purposeful as they lay on the pass on the right hand side of attack. There they come. Henson and Ponsa all joining the fray, missing out on the opportunity, but they will still battle for it, and Henson eventually wins the advantage. So far, Aduana will still continue to probe. Cross comes through, but too many white shirts, and eventually is booted away by Isaac Asari. Doesn't go too far. Aduana come threateningly forward yet again. Lovely pass laid through. Again, gives the ball away too easily. Nations will say thank you very much. They look for opportunities as they come forward. Brandon's long pass. Here's the goal scorer. And then to the near side where Brandon is seeing a lot of the play, especially in this latter part of the first half. There's Brandon once again. Lays on the pass, but over the line it goes for a throw. Foot by Henson and Ponsa. Nations quickly effect the throw in. They try to push the long ball forward. Osei Kufuor on defense duties and gains the upper hand. Very, very stalwart, very robust, and very strong in defense. Samuel Osei Kufuor. You see him going into action again. Not this time, he seems to say to Samuel Tete. And Kufuor sends a long one away. Aduana are still yet to make an impression in the 18-yard box of Nations. Maxwell Arthur, Razak Simpson, they've been stalwart in defense. Throwing to Aduana. The referee would want the throw to be effected from the exact spot. That has been done. Maxwell Arthur lays a pass to the near side. Kufuor returns the favor. Sana pushes one forward. They're getting close to the 18-yard box. The cross has been blocked and eventually cleared by Razak Simpson. That was poorly done. And Aduana would have to re-strategize. Coming forward slowly but surely. Kufuor with a long ball forward. Gets to his target. There's a battle for it, and referee says it's a corner kick. That was some strong, forceful effort from Abubakar Adams. And his persistency presents a corner kick advantage to Aduana. There's Chivanyo's corner kick. Nicely done this time, but goalkeeper comes out and makes a firm save. Was he impeded? Replay did not show, or was it an awkward dive that didn't go too well? Here's a corner kick once again from Chivanyo. Long ball in. Goalkeeper went up. He didn't look as if he was impeded. He fell heavily though.
Oh, okay.
He didn't look like he was impeded.
No.
It was the fall.
It was the fall, but when the player was going, his leg just cut the back of the head.
The head, okay. The replay clearly showed that he went up and got the ball fair and square. Let's take a look at it again. There he made a firm save, went down. Ooh! Coach Andy Sinnerson was right. It was the player, as he was leaving, clipped the back of the head of the goalkeeper. And that definitely is not fair play. Chivanyo has been taking all the corner kicks for Aduana. This time, goalkeeper went up and made a firm save. Now watch as Kufuor went back, clipped his head in the process. Kufuor should be careful. He should be careful he does not attract a caution from the referee. Goalkeeper is still being treated. And that's a long searching ball to Emmanuel, and not that registered the only goal so far of the match. And you don't give such opportunities to Emmanuel Ano. Certainly you don't. If you give him an inch, you take a yard. Clearly burying the ball there fairly. These are players who have gone through the mantle and have gathered some loins and experience as they go through. Coach Andy Sinnerson was telling us, for example, what he went through with Benjamin Chivanyo at Swatreman back in the day, and of course Razak Simpson, whom he coached at Liberty once upon a time. Can Emmanuel Ano get more goals for Nations FC? We are gradually cruising towards the end of the first half. We've got about 7 minutes or so. Thankfully, Barry is back on his feet. He says he's okay and will continue with the game. Difficult to tell the mind of Chioba Aristika at this stage. Daniel Awuni is an offensive-minded player. Stephen Anochibedu is a defensive-minded player. Long ball in by goalkeeper. Aduana will say thank you very much as they seek to come forward to create yet another scoring opportunity. A trip from behind, Kufuor goes down, and Joseph Samuel Tete would apologize. Pat on the back, game will continue. One of the stalwart defenders we have seen in the Ghana Premier League so far. Samuel Osei-Kuffour. Aduana looking good as they keep the rhythm and come forward through the middle. This looks good. Chibanyo's pass goes to Nations. They will say thank you very much. Try to get themselves out of that defensive shell. Seydou Sana finds Kuffour, and Aduana keeping it close to themselves this time. They deliver a long pass, quite a wayward one. Nobody there to capitalize on it. "41 minutes played in the first half. Closing in gradually to the end of the first half, but Aduana will not relent on their efforts. Good turn. They come forward through Henson and Ponsa. Lace on a pass. Good enough for Remember Domako Boateng. He loves to come forward, Remember. Over the line, it will go. Advantages will still stay with Aduana Football Club. Let's see how much of the defending that will go into this corner kick. This time a short one, poorly done. And again, Aduana give the ball away too easily. Prince Osei brings it down. And now Aduana, they have to throw everything into their opponent's territory. Limited time to get themselves back on level pegging. Lovely pass through. Again, timely defending by Razak. He's not put a foot wrong today, Razak. Here's the goal scorer now. Him looking good as they come forward. He tried to lay on the pass, appeals for the handball. Referee says play on. Nicely recovered in the middle, and then the pass is laid on. It's a bit too strong. Can't get to the ball. Yep. Ball hitting the hand of Osei-Kuffour. But I guess the referees these days will tell you that, well, the hand was in a natural position. And so it's yet another long searching ball, but this time the speed of Arnaud will not get to the ball early enough. We're into the dying embers of the first half. Too many faulty passes at this stage. Not too sure whether the balls are being overhit or is players not finding themselves in the right positions at the right time. Good opportunity now for Aduana. Player goes down and Niayi signals for a free kick. That was a lovely pass. He got to the ball early. And I'm sure the idea was for him to cut through. But unfortunately, Hensa was brought down in the process. 45 minutes played in the first half. We've got 3 minutes of add-on time. Aduana will have to push through. Nations will have to defend. Height is the advantage here, and so Samuel Osei-Kuffour joins. Maybe he can use his height to advantage. Floated in nicely by Chivanyo. It goes off target. A few opportunities have come the way of Aduana, but they just have not found the target. That's a deep cross coming in. The header went too high. Aduana have the gentlemen who can get goals. One of them is sitting on the bench. What an infringement. And obviously in pain there, Dauda Sidibe. That was a very strong one coming from that man, Asante Boahin. Ooh. That clearly was foot up. Strong one it was. And Asante Boahin goes into the referee's books. Maybe he's fortunate he didn't get a red. Free kick to Aduana. We have played 2 of the 3 minutes of add-on time. Ito dangling in the 18-yard box. Razak goes up and gets it to it. Referee blows the whistle before the opportunity could arise. And it was due to the flag being put up. You see the referee on the far side raising the flag. So even if he had scored, it would have been an illegal goal. We've almost done 3 minutes of the stoppage time. Referee keeping close tabs on the game. He may blow his whistle any moment for the end of the first half. It's been an interesting game so far. Lots of opportunities created, chances have come and gone. We only have 1 goal to show. As game continues, switch to the far side. Referee blows the whistle and believes that we've had enough of the first 45 minutes. First semi-final of the MTN FA Cup for the year 2026. And so far, it is the team in white who are leading in terms of the goal scoring. 1 goal to the good scored by Emmanuel Ano. It's what separates the 2 sides for now. And coach, when it happens like this, especially in a match where we need a winner, what kind of plans, ideas goes through the coach's head for the second 45? First of all, let's take a look at the losing side, Aduana. What should they do?
Yeah, I think if you look at the game and how they are playing, Aduana had most of the ball, but they are not doing the needful, which is when those moments that are in the game comes, they don't use the moments. And if you could see, they've had as many as 5 corner kicks, which Nations hasn't gotten any. And with that, you could see that they are playing the game, but Nations are only playing on the counter. So the losing side, when they come back, all that they need to do is they need to have patience, and in front of goal, they have to make sure they pass the ball to the net, because they've gotten some opportunities that they are not making good use of. So for the losing side, all that they need to do is they have to keep up their game as they are playing, but they have to take the moments that comes in the game.
I see. And for those who are already in the lead nations?
No, for the losing side, I'm saying the moments that are coming in the game, because they've had some chances that they were supposed to do something with it. Nations, after the goal, they've made only one injection in front of the goal, which they couldn't utilize it. So when Aduana are having those chances, if they are able to make something good out of it, I think they can do something.
All right. So it's halftime here at the Swedru Stadium, and at halftime is Aduana 0, Nations 1. Let's cross over to pitch side, and then we'll join you for the second 45.
MTN.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, actually, the final touch. There we have it. Crap. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Take 5 minutes, guys.
People, the hustle is real, but Ghanaians are pushing it. I have been so inspired by what people are doing. If you now you know do for yourself, nobody will do for you. So you for
Every step, every story, and every hustle. We're backing your journey. Together, let's build that dream from the start to something spectacular. MTN.
Hey Jerry, this your phone. What is this?
Babe, relax. Today is the day I turn water into wine. We're in the promised land. Max Bar is here to save us, okay? Don't worry, I'm coming.
Make sure you don't embarrass me like you did the other time at the chopper.
Welcome to Max Buy.
You're welcome to Max Buy, Ghana's #1 electronic retail store with brands like Techno, Itel, Infinix, iPhone, Oraimo, Edifier, and Cynix. We have over 40 shops nationwide, a convenient payment plan, online shopping, and home delivery. How may I help you?
You know, my queen deserves the best. Show me your top gadget here.
That's the same thing you said at the shoe shop the other time. I ate Chaliwate P. Jerry!
Madam, don't worry. At Max Buy, we have everything for everyone and every budget.
Babe, imagine our anniversary selfies with this Techno Camon 30S. Everybody would think that we are Ghana's Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Welcome to Max Buy.
Power couple, papa.
Power couple, our phone into me power.
Max Buy has flexible payment plans for us.
Oh yes, you can pay in installments.
Hey, Yakuya, and who said this is your?
At Max Buy, we've got it all. Mobile phones, smart TVs, air conditioners, kettles, microwaves, blenders, and more.
What's your payment plan? When are you going to start chasing me for it?
Relax, Jerry. Max Buy makes it convenient for everybody. You can pay daily, weekly, or monthly. Just focus in making Madam happy. That's all. With over 40 shops nationwide, flexible payment plan, online shopping, and home delivery.
Welcome to Max Buy. Welcome to Max Buy.
So it's halftime here at the Swedru Stadium in our first semi-final game of the MTN FA Cup. A defining moment in the opening minutes of the game. Emmanuel Arnault making it count instinctively, just putting that ball at the back of the net to give Nations a 1-0 lead hand. It's just away. We're live on Max TV. I'm still here at pitch side with my two pundits, first away with Blackgate, and then also Coach Ernest Thompson. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Coach. What a moment we saw! A moment of brilliance. A moment of just sheer quality, and it seems that's what's carrying Nations so far in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, we were expecting this from Nations FC because we looked at the setup and how they, came out to play. I realized also that Nations are more eager to score in this particular encounter. Looking at how they deploy their players with Razak Simpson also marching up the defense properly. But I don't know what is happening to Aduana Stars, their defensive setup. They looked sluggish and they started poorly. And Nations just took advantage of that with those incisive and then penetrative passes that you split their defense to get that brilliant goal. So it looks like Nations are more eager to win in today's competition than Aduana Stars. That is what I see for now.
Wow, but Francis, yeah, when the stakes are high, you always expect your top players to define the moments, to make these moments count, and that was the goal from Emmanuel Arnaud. The run, the finish, timed perfectly, Francis.
Well, the elite players in the division will always come to have effect on the game in the phases of the game. And look at this. The moment the true pass got glided through in between the two centre backs of Aduana Stars, they don't have the pace to cope with him. No. And if you look at him, it tells you how lethal he is. He exhibited every qualities in a striker. Calmness, composure, precision, pick your spot, finish off with aplomb. And the way he finished that off speaks volumes about his quality. Emmanuel Arnaud, we spoke about him extensively in the build-up to the game. Yeah. And after he scored the goal, look at his link-up play, the way he held the ball up front, his movement on and off the ball, the way he troubled the back line of Aduana speaks volumes about his overall qualities. And for me, if you look at what Nations FC are doing, they soak the pressure. The moment they get the ball, they turn defensive units into attack, and they are direct. They've made sure that they've caused problems on both flanks to Aduana Stars, and Aduana Stars never knew exactly what hit them. They started the game slowly on the back foot. When they got hit by the opener, they decided to come out to play. But if you look at Henson Amponsa in the number 11 jersey for Aduana Stars on the right flank, he has been by far their liveliest wire on the pitch out there in the first half. But his problem is over elaboration and indecisive making decisions on top of the pitch. Because when he hacked the byline, gets blitz past his opponents, he's supposed to do the cuts back at premium range on time. But he's not managing to do that on time. So it's getting Choba Aristika so much angry on the touchline. But I think they should get him. You look at someone like Benjamin Tivanyo on the left wing as well. He tried to hack the byline as well, trying to drop deep to pick the ball and try to link up play with the two marksmen, Sidibe and Mafu. Mafu has been starved of decent services. But if they want him to come into the game, then he needs not to be dropping deep. Sana, as a low playmaker in central midfield, is giving Nations FC the spare man to be able to trouble him and take a field day out of him. But for me, this game is not finished. The second half will explode much more into life. And the team that will stay disciplined, tactically resolute over the course of the game and manage to cover some few premium chances and be lethal in front of goal, definitely will come back and win this game in the second half.
But we all attest to the fact that, yeah, it's a game of moment. Nations FC took their moment, coach. But you're thinking, yeah, the overall performance of Aduana should at least have gotten them on the board by now, shouldn't it?
Yeah, just like my brother said. It looks like, just I said earlier too, that they started slowly. And that has been the bane on their performance. And it looks like the central defensive pair are not finding antidote to Emmanuel Arnaud's runs off the ball. And that is what is creating the problem for them. They should either keep an eye on him and then one always play as the sweeper, as I said earlier. But they are allowing him that free space. And a striker, a lethal striker of his type, when you give him that spaces, he will punish you. And that is what he rightly did. Aduana would have to turn this into a tale of two halves. Because tactically, in performance, Nations have dominated this first half, and they will have to come back if they really want to make amends and do that as quickly as the second half starts. Else, they'll be laughing at the wrong side of their mat.
The hunger and desire to win this one is there for either side, because both of these teams have never won the MTN FA Cup before. And you look at Nations FC just 45 minutes away from a grand finale. You know, Francis, if you are a coach, you know, like Frimpong Manzo, who has won the league before, definitely there should be some composure on the touchline. But what are they now going to do with the next 45, you know, coming up? What do they need to do now?
What is not broken, you don't try fixing it. You just need to tell the boys to be calm in the faces of the game, especially Buahin Asante, partner with Razak Simpson at the heart of the centre back. He has been so much rugged in some of the tackles that he has lunged into. And he had the referee down the line to tank. If not, he would have shown him a straight red card for that reckless tackle on Emmanuel Mafu, because you can't lunge into tackles just like that. It's so dangerous, and you don't do that. The moment you do such things, you might end up playing into the hands of the referee, and he might end up fouling you. So he needs to calm down to play his game, because you have to be disciplined over the course of 19. It has to be 11v11. The moment you go a numerical disadvantage, it will go a long way to affect the overall performance of the team. But for me, I think Nations FC have been very tactical, and the way they go about their direct approach, it's been very solid. You look at the chap in the number 40 JC for them, Joseph Effa.
Yeah,
he has been very solid for them. That's Brandon
Sapon, yeah.
He has been by far one of the main tormentors on the left wing as well. So for Aduana Stars, they have to be, they just have to be very careful not to concede the second goal. You look at Abubakar Adams, spotted number 17, the left wing back.
Yeah,
he need not be searching for when it's unnecessary, because the moment you're giving the spare man as a decoy on the far line, and they're using it to a devastating effect.
Sure.
So for them to keep their shape, they have to stay tactically disciplined, not to overcommit. If not, if Nations FC should go 2 goals up, it will be extremely difficult for them to claw back.
Coach, but you found yourself in this situation before as a coach, certainly, and sometimes they say 15 minutes in the dressing room is not even enough. At this point, you think it will be enough for Aristika Cheba?
He has to do a lot of talking in the dressing room before his players come to the field, because looking at their performance currently, he needs to, motivate them that all is not lost. Come up, boys, you can still make amends, and then we can go on to win. If they come up again in the same, way they played the first half, I wouldn't be surprised Nations will score a second goal. The defenders should be spoken to, keep their shape and their line, just like my brother said. Not just playing to the gallery and moving without knowing who is behind you. They have to do the covering from each side and communicate. It's about communication. In defensive setup, you need to communicate a lot. And the communication, I'm not seeing it. And that is what is causing Aduana. And their midfield seems non-existent. They are not, playing as a pair. They are just on each other's end. They have to come motivated and have things going their way, and then they can make amends.
But Francis, finally, we see the battle. Oseku for Emmanuel Ano. Should we expect more? Because already it looks like Emmanuel Ano is enjoying it.
You expect more, but the defenders need to be careful, because the moment you keep lunging in unnecessarily, you can cause problems. But hey, Jose, if you look at Aduana Stars, they have enough quality on the bench if they want to run the substitutions. If you have a player like Sam Adams, Bright J, Stephen Anoche,
veteran, experienced players.
All these players on the they've seen it all in the Ghana Premier League. They can come into the faces of the game. If Choba Aristika really wants to do the substitutions, he has enough buffer on the bench to be able to do this. But one thing is, you look at Nations FC, they look very fresh, they look alive on the battles, in terms of the 1v1 battles and on the second balls, the drop balls. The moment you mob up cleanly, like Coach was saying, you don't give your opponent anything to take away. Because right now, Aduana Stars are just trying to play to the gallery, overcommitting themselves, and it can cause them problems. Because this game, the moment they go down by the second odd goal, it will be extremely difficult for them to come back into this game. The first 15 minutes of the second half will be very crucial and tactical in terms of the final permutations of this particular match. But that first 45 minutes was very tactical, was very aggressive, and the players gave out everything out there. But for me, I feel like Aduana Stars should be more daring. They should double up in terms of what they do in central midfield, because Nations FC look extremely comfortable in central midfield. That is the reason why they are finding their top marksman at premium range. And the moment he has realized that he's not supposed to be static, he's mobile, he's running in between the two centre backs. They have to put one man on him, follow him wherever he's going, because he realized that his central midfielders has the quality to locate him with those defensive splitting passes into the attacking channels. And until Aduana Stars managed to cut that out of Nations FC, they'll still be causing much more problems to them in the second half.
Currently, I'm picking up information that multiple substitutions may be for Aduana FC heading into the second half. Coach, are you surprised?
You know, I told you earlier that before the match that the incidents of their former player they gave out could haunt them psychologically. And I think there's a psychological problem that the Aduana Stars team is having. So, well, ringing in changes to strengthen your team is very good. But look at the time you are ringing in the substitution. At the latter part of the game, when you need some new substitutions, you may have, exhausted your substitution. So it should be a tactical, approach and change to, how do we call it, his, substitution that he's making. That will help him, but he shouldn't just throw in players because they are down.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. All right, so it's now time to join the feed for the second half. We'll be back after 90 minutes.
Thank you very much for joining us. And so Aduana will be starting by bringing on some fresh names on the field of play. And they've taken off Raymond Ajiman, and they have brought on the strong man, Stephen Anochibedu. Dauda Sidibe has also been pulled off, and it's Daniel Awuni who has joined his colleagues on the field of play. And so let's see what the second 45 minutes will bring. Interesting action so far. And let's see what the two coaches would have imbibed into the teams technically. Chioba is looking at maintaining a certain level of pressure. But for Coach Frimpong Manso, he believes that the status quo will also remain in terms of the team's superiority. Thank you very much for joining us. Here we go for the second 45 minutes of this first semi-final. Aduana trail Nations FC by 1. Let's see how Nations will hold on to this lead and probably double it if they can. Nicely done. We have quite a number of people joining us at the Swedru Sports Stadium. The crowd keeps increasing, and it's Nations who are now playing from right to left in white, trying to dominate play. Ano keeps it in play as he comes forward. Scorer of the first goal. He's threatening for a second. He needs to create the opening. He needs to create the space. He's been crowded out, pushes the ball back, and no opportunities for Ifa. Ifa turns, swings it to the near side. Picked up nicely as they try and coast through the middle. Player brought down. Advantage of a free kick it will be for Emmanuel Ano. Clean pair of heels he's showed, and one of the weapons he has is his speed. But on this occasion, no way, say Aduana. Quick directions being given in goal by Prince Osei. Meanwhile, another Prince, Otubua, has started warming up for Aduana, that is. Free kick is driven by Razak, is blocked. No way through that. And Nations would reclaim. Lovely pass through the middle. Trying to keep it in play. Fortunately, it was a bit too much for Ano. Yes, Captain Razak. Threads a pass through, that's good enough. Sana losing concentration. Thank you very much. Aduana now have it as they come forward. Whistle goes. Boyne should be very, very careful. He's already seen a yellow card in the first half. It could get worse. Long ball by Razak is pushed on. That's quite a telling pass, and no can't get to the ball. Game will continue with a goal kick advantage to Aduana. Anochi Bedu's first time. Clears it quickly away. Doesn't go too far. Nations are looking at probing and threatening for a second goal. Lovely back heel. Aduana looking good. They look composed. They're coming forward. Drills it into the 18-yard box. Will the connection favor them? Amponsa's drive. Straight off target. He had wanted to put a twist to it. By the way he shot the ball. But the ball continued its own direction. Cleared out nicely. Arnold has the better of his opponent. He pushes the ball forward, but a bit too much. Chioba has started the second half with a few changes, hoping that would solidify the pressure that the team will be put through. Throw in quickly effected by Adomako. Finds Anochi Bedu. Spread the game to the far side where there's some space to operate and maneuver. Tackle from behind, Razak Simpson, right under the eagle eyes of Daniel Ni Lai. That was the foul. Bringing down his man, Emmanuel Marfo, heavily. Advantage of a free kick. He controls his defense with a lot of zeal, enthusiasm and ease. Nations FC would have to do a lot of defending here. I see Emmanuel Ano going back to help in that regard. There he is. Barrio says he's ready for the kick. Let's see how Aduana FC will handle this opportunity. Difficult to tell whether there was a plan for this free kick, coach. Opportunity is gone. A restart for Nations. Keeping the ball to themselves. They're looking for men in open spaces. Aduana would have to recover. That they do. And a lovely pass through. Flag still stays down, but eventually the whistle goes. Some of these chances, when missed, they won't come back. And sometimes teams find themselves ruining those missed opportunities. The fans are still here. They're still enjoying the game. It's 1 goal to the good for Nations FC. Again, very difficult for Emmanuel Ano to keep it in play. It's interesting to see Ano back at his best. He was docked by injuries somewhere along the line. But here he comes once again into the 18-yard box. He lays on the pass. Oh, timely clearance. Arnott did very well and really kept his composure here. Laid on the pass, but then it had to take that timely clearance out of danger zone by Aduana. Another opportunity gone for Aduana, and coach, you rightly said that Aduana are not being purposeful when they are coming up for the attacks. We've seen that it's been all flat foot throughout. But just before I started asking you or making this comment, I've seen that one of the brightest spots for Aduana when it comes to goal scoring, Bright Ajay, has started warming up.
Yeah, I think Bright has the experience, and Bright is somebody who is very sharp in front of goal, and when he gets the opportunities, he will make it. When you give him 4 chances, definitely you make sure one will enter into the net. So it will be prudent and very good on the part of the coach to bring him on board so that he will also come and add up to the attack, because their attack has not been purposeful. Like seriously, the way they are playing, they are in 6s and 7s.
Aduana really needing some sharp shooters and some fast players on the field of play. And Chioba Aristika, maybe reading through what we've been discussing at commentary position, another of their speedsters, Sam Adams, has also started warming up. And so let's see whether these 3 changes will do Aduana any good, put pressure on the defense of Nations. Eventually cleared out by Anochi Bedu. Ball has been taken off the foot of Emmanuel Arnott. It's an advantage of a throw-in to Nations. Two tickets to the final of the MTN FA Cup 2026. One will be picked up this afternoon by either of these 2 teams. It's a long delivery, but the ball goes over for a goal kick. And so the tough question is whether the ticket will go to Doma or it will go to Abrankese. Long ball in. Failure to control. Cleared away by Anoche. Headed in by Razak. Nation still trying to keep the ball to themselves. And they have the advantage as they come through. This time the middle did not work, but eventually had the opportunity. Are not shot straight into the body of Prince, but the flag was already up on the far side. Assistant referee Seth Ableto on the far side. And at this stage and at this time, the flag was already up and the whistle had already gone. All booted away by Stephen Anoche once again. And since Anoche Bedu came on, he's been very, very robust and solid with his clearances. Player goes down, but I thought that was a very fair challenge. Looks like, remember, Dumako slipped in the process. Or referee judged that to be a contact somewhere along the line, although the player says otherwise. Remember, Domako Boateng very lucky. Game will continue. Fans love every bit of this. The MTN FA Cup making its way to the town of Swedru. And I can tell you that the town, the stadium is agog with some amount of excitement. It will continue tomorrow in the second semi-final. Long ball into the 18-yard box. Razak defends gallantly. It doesn't go too far. Aduana will come forward. Yes, Maxwell Arthur. One of the few players who has also grown and matured steadily in the game. Maxwell Arthur crosses on by Aduana. Comedy of errors. And eventually Nations will say thank you very much. Twisting and turning, got the better of his marker. Emmanuel Ano, a little bit of a smile on his face.
Enjoy the 30 minutes.
Strong battle.
Remaining of the game.
Hungry for survival. We've had 1 hour of playing time. And down into the last half hour. Aduana still trail Nations by a 0-1 margin. Which of these two will be successful at the end of full time? Don't forget, one ticket goes their way. The other ticket will be reserved for tomorrow. And that will be between Dreams Football Club and Midiama Sporting Club. Blasted completely off target from Remember's foot. Ball kept rising and rising, no problems at all for Barrio. Meanwhile, goalkeeper Barrio is down in some amount of pain. So at this stage, I'd like to find out technically from Coach Andy Sinison whether really we will see goals in the remainder of this match.
I'm hoping AJ will come on, because so you could see that in front of goal, Aduana are not doing the needful. They are getting some good moments in the game that they to do something with it, but they are not doing it, because look at the ball, he just shot wide. Yeah. At least if he's he should remember that Angels don't play football.
That's the player we're talking about, Bright AJ.
Yeah, because they should just, in front of goal, they should keep their calm. Just in a minute ago, you could see that they were doing some good passing in front of goal, which will bring out the openings and they can just pass the ball to the net. But if they are in a haste and they are rushing, they can't do the needful.
Kelvin Ampofol is on for Suhini. Change for Nations FC. Nations definitely bent on holding to this slender 1-goal lead. That is, if they cannot add in any. We've seen a couple of chances that have gone down the drain. I will still have more opportunity before the 90th minute mark. Throwing advantage, ball coming off the head of Remember. And I'm sure that Chioba Aristika, the head coach, will be making a substitution any moment from now. Nations looking good. They come forward, thread through the middle. And eventually the strong man, Anochi Bedu. He's not put a foot wrong since he came on. But here is Ano. Ano would love to drill from afar. Not the kind of shots that will beat goalkeeper Prince, I'll say. Maintaining his composure there, Abubakar Adams. There's another Adams warming up for Aduana. That's Sam Adams. Give the ball away easily. Ano will say thank you very much. And again, a lot more opportunities being created by this youngster Can he go around there? Remember is solid. There's still a one-on-one situation. He tries a second opportunity, but this time, remember, Adumakun saves the day. Unfortunately, he also gives the ball away, so Nations will come forward, trying to go through the middle. The cross did not meet the intended head, but there's an opportunity coming through, and eventually goes wayward. Brandon Enchisapom, not too sure whether it was meant to have been a shot on target. Foot up by Razak Simpson. Referee gives the advantage and is quickly effected. Free kick advantage to Aduana FC. Here is Anochi Bedu. Aduana have space in front of them, trying to use the long ball for the pass. And it's a thank you very much gesture from Nations FC. Over the line it goes. Nice, comfortable tackle from Samuel Osei-Kufuor. Nicely done by Kufuor. Wins the goal kick advantage for his side. Pushed on and finds Anochi Bedu. Anochi comes forward. He's looking to deliver a long pass. Goes past one and then balloons the ball into enemy territory. Cleared out strongly by Samuel Osei-Kufuor. He doesn't take any risks, Samuel Osei-Kufuor. And together with Stephen Anochi Bedu, they are two of the most ruthless defenders at the Premiership level. Nations obviously can't do enough with all the trickery. So Ifa gives the ball away. Thank you very much, says Abubakar Adams. Finds his captain Seydou Sana. Seydou has connected with the midfield very well. Lovely pass there by the heart of Aduana. They still have the advantage. Frimpong Manso will issue out instructions. And then that's Razak Simpson. Aduana bringing on Prince Otubwa, who's gone on. And I also see Sam Adams has also joined his colleagues on the field of play. First touch by Sam Adams. Opportunity for the drive is blocked. So Sam Adams is on. Place has been taken by Adumakun. He's taking the place, I should say, of Adumakun. Now it's a forward thrust by Aduana, trying to coast into the 18-yard box. Lovely control. Sana. Easy clearance for Nations FC. Here is Ano. A little push from behind. Referee saw that. And Brighter J is wondering when he will be summoned. Sam Adams is one of the most experienced players in the Aduana setup. He's got the pace, he's got the power, and he's got the physique, very robust. Prince Otobua is coming onto the field with his speed and swiftness. And referee would ask him to go off through the shorter route. Henson Amponsa, he gave way to Prince Otobua. Will these changes make a difference for Aduana? Bedu finds Kufuor. Slowly but surely, they would love to inch forward. Kufuor again. Bedu has Arthur for help. Slowly but surely, they get into the other half. There's the captain Sana to the near side. Aduana keeping the ball to themselves, but just when it matters most, they give it away. And here is Ano. Tries to go around his marker. Oh, he's down in the process, and Anochi Bedu is in trouble. We spoke about the speed of Emmanuel Ano, and look at that weighted long ball to beat Anochi Bedu. And the only way Anochi Bedu could win the day was to get in touch, a little bit of a body check.
You know, Ano knows him very well.
He does.
And he knows that his age, and he knows when he puts the ball there, he can't run with him. So he just dropped the ball there, let's go. And he couldn't do anything than to, you know, bring him down. And if it happens for the second time, it's going to be a problem.
Anochi Bedu goes into the referee's books. He receives a yellow card. Ifa behind the ball to deliver the free kick. Wasted effort. Went too direct. There was a lot of power behind it. And Vision would come forward yet again. A little bit of a delay on the part of Anochi Bedu. Nations got their foot to it. Chioba is not too happy. The game will continue. Here's Anochi Bedu this time. It's a sweeping long ball. Chibanyo gets his head to it. The reaction from the defenders of Nations a bit too swift. Kufuor finds Bedu. Bedu sends it back to Prince. Well, clearly the timing was wrong, and nothing Bedu could do but to allow the ball to roll over the line. And obviously it's interesting that the pressure is being put on them by Nations. Quick water break it will be. We have done 72 minutes of the game, so we are gradually coasting into the last 18. Question still remains: will Nations FC hold on to that slender lead and pick up the ticket for the MTN FA Cup final, or will Aduana draw level and extend play? Or that's the man on whose shoulders the success of Nations Football Club lie. He looks a bit worried though, sitting in the VIP box. But his team is still in the lead, and it could be a slender lead to the end of the game. Fans loving every bit of it. They are enjoying the action. Depending on which side of the divide you're on, you will be loving it if your team is in the lead or otherwise. Game will continue. Referee says I'm ready, and so are the players. Should the final whistle go at this stage, the first person to react will be Dr. Che. Goalkeeper fumbles with it first time, but grabs it again. A little bit of a kick in the process. He's holding on to his face. Was it a late challenge? Changed the direction. He spilt it the first time of asking, but Prince struggled to recover. And in the process, I think he got a little bit of a bump on the head. But he's okay. He says, I can continue the game. Into the last quarter. Aduana won't give up, not just yet. They would love to throw everything at their opponents. Referee saw that push. Emmanuel Amafo, the culprit. For Razak Simpson and his charges, they seem to be eager to cruise into that FA Cup final by the kind courtesy of MTN. And Dr. Kwame Che has already told us that I want to go to Africa. But it's the same feeling for Aduana as well. So the fans now herald the arrival of this man we've been talking about earlier on, Bright Ajay, and quickly he's shown respect. He takes over the captain's armband, but Nations FC will not wait for him to tie it down because they're coming forward, twisting and turning the defender inside out. Eventually it is cleared. Big boot for a clearance by captain who started the game, Seydou Sana. So Bright Ajay has got about 13 or so minutes to show why he's dreaded. Nations come forward. Bedu does well to get his foot to it before the ball went past him. He was the last man standing. Mashoud sets up the pass. Through the middle, Nations FC will go to, but they've got options as they come through. Unfortunately, ball goes behind Joseph Ifa. Lovely skill by Aduana. They want to come forward, but Nations FC regather. Well, he commits a blunder. The ball is taken away by Mafo, but Razak Simpson to the rescue. Sam Adams battles for it and gets it. Aduana looking good as they come forward. Can he get that drive through Awuni? Too many white shirts and they carry the day. Yes, Sam Adams. Delivers with his unfavourite left foot. Bright Ajay went up for it. Chance coming the way of Aduana. They're into the 18-yard box. It's drilled.
Nice.
And his goalkeeper, Hadina Bariu, to the rescue. Good opportunity, but again, it was well recovered by the defense supporting Badiou. Aduana will come forward again. Let's go for finds Bedu. Wasted effort by Bedu as the ball goes out of play. Throwing advantage to Nations. Free kick to Aduana, quickly effected. Here comes Kufuor. Pushing on the ball a bit too far. They give the advantage to Nations, who would say thank you very much and throw everything at their opponent. Kufuor did well to get his foot to it. Let's pick that by Prince. And then pushed on by Bedu Anoche. Ten minutes to full time. And in 10 minutes, we definitely will be confirming who goes on into the final of the MTN FA Cup 2026. Injury worries for Nations FC, and the player will have to be stretched off to receive further attention. Meanwhile, the students, the fans, everybody here is on cloud nine. Maybe with the exception of the team of Aduana, they are still trailing by one. Yes, Sam Adams gives the ball away. Nations will have Ano fighting back for it. He picks it up and then he's on the threshold of a run. He's got 3 green shirts around him. Bedu Anoche got there early. And they give the ball away. What a terrible mistake. Nations! In a haste to deliver, he shoots off target. But that was the opportunity that came. Ifa Enko closing in. A player shot completely off target. And sometimes Aduana FC, the defense they live dangerously and nearly pay for it. It's a costly mistake on the part of Bedu Anoche, giving the ball away. Couldn't take the opportunity, couldn't take the effort. Again, you wonder why Prince Otobua would want to go through that same angle he was just coming out from when he had other opportunities. Nations will start another attack of their own. This time they try and go through the middle, but it's Kufuor who calms the nerves of the Ghana team. Bedu Anoche opens up the game, finds Osei Kufuor, Captain Bright Ajay. Aduana this time being very cautious with the approach and the build-up. Not in a haste to employ those long passes. As Bright Ajay. Bright goes down. Substitution time. Frederick Nzoli is on for Samuel Tete. who was stretchered off a while ago. Nzole will finish the game. Appeals for the corner kick and is won by Aduana. They will throw everything at their opponents. The only player in Aduana half is the goalkeeper. Swung into the 18-yard box, is headed on. Kufuor with a header, but not the kind of finishing you would have expected from Aduana. Kept in play, nicely done. Pushed on. Can he get to the ball? He can. He needs support. It's a long drive forward. And the referee says let the game continue. So Aduana will fight from the rear. Here's Sam Adams. He switched places with Bedu Anoche because he loved to cross the center line. But he gives the ball away. Strong challenge coming in the dying embers of this game. 5 minutes to full time. Nations come forward through Mashoud. There's a struggle for the ball between Mashoud and Kwame Awuni. Here's Kufuor now. Kufuor is asking his colleagues to open up the spaces. Here's Adams. Adams finds Prince in goal. It's interesting the way Nations FC find men in open spaces, really when they need them. But Aduana now have an opportunity to come forward. Here's Marfo. Drills it into the 18-yard box. Nicely defended. Picked up by goalkeeper, no problems at all. So far, so good for goalkeeper Hadina Barriu. It's not really been tested in this game by the front runners of Aduana. And not switching from the right-hand side of attack to the left-hand side of attack as he tries to cut through into the 18-yard box. He lays on the pass. Will they fire a shot from a distance? They do, but completely off target. Coach, at this time, confusion and frustration can set into the game of Aduana.
It has already set into their game because initially they were playing very well until they started making some petty mistakes at the back, and if they don't take time, you score them another goal. Because the way they are playing in defense, Anoji Bedu is giving the balls away, and I don't know who introduced the starting play at the back, because now it's almost about 10 minutes to go. Yeah. So you need to be in the opponent's half and be playing the balls there. But they are still playing in their half, which is not very well for the team. Because this is the time you have to play in your opponent's half because you are down and you want to score. Yeah. So why are you in your half and you are playing, you are possessing the ball in your half? They are not being, I don't know, they are playing as if there's nothing at stake.
There's nothing at stake.
They've given up. They've given up. Because the more you go into the opponent area, that is where and when you are going to have some free kicks that maybe one of them can result into something better for you.
Well, it looks like there's a big slack on the part of Aduana. Officially, we have less than 2 minutes. But Aduana have a free kick. Just outside the 18-yard box, can they take the advantage? I think, Coach, it sums up your thoughts just a few seconds ago. It looks like they've given up.
They've given up. It's wasteful because why do you kick like that? Just drop the ball to the penalty box for them to struggle over the ball. Something will happen. But why do you kick like that? Where the ball is? And look at even his posture. the way he positioned himself in kicking the ball, even tells you the ball is going to go.
Aduana nil, Nations 1. That's the scoreline. Gradually closing in on the 90th minute mark, but Nations have an opportunity to come forward. The intended target was the goal scorer, but the ball did not get to him. Tidied up by Kufuor. It is not over until it is over, and so Aduana will still keep coming forward, keeping the ball in play. That's good enough. Goes past one, but then he gives the ball to an opponent, and this is where Nations can punish you. Joseph Ifa spreads play to the far side. Good thinking. Nations still keep possession. And at this stage, it's Nations FC who are having a field day. 90 minutes of action. We're doing the additional 5. Nations FC would pick up an advantage of a free kick from that last-ditched tackle. Lots of ideas will be running through his mind, lots of thoughts will be running through his mind, but the gentlemen on the field of play are not really giving their coach any form of motivation at this stage of the game, wasting most of the opportunities that are coming their way, Aduana. Well, the fans are still happy. They'll still chant, they'll still sing, they'll still dance in the stands. This is what the MTN FA Cup brings to whichever venue it finds itself. And like the MTN FA Cup's logo, or should I say the cliche goes, Obia Nyobia. And so today is the turn of Aduana and Nations. Tomorrow, it will be the turn of Dreams FC and Mediama Sporting Club. Dreams will want to go to another final, but so would Mediama. We'll see how that turns out. But for Nations, victory today summons their first ever FA Cup final. Towards goalkeeper, safe catch for him, no problems. Prince sends it on its way to the far side. We have done 2 of the 5 minutes of add-on time. Still a couple of minutes to go. And Aduana are on the offensive. Or not for too long. And I think the efforts put in by Aduana nicely summed up by Coach Andy Sinnerson. It looks like they are not really hungry to go all the way to the top. Bedu Anoche will start the attack. Sends it back to Prince in goal. Long ball in by Bedu Anoche. Opportunity for Aduana, but unfortunately took his eye off the ball. They still have the advantage though. A decent cross sent in, headed away nicely. And standing tall there was Isaac Asari. Game continues, says the referee. They still keep coming forward. Arthur, and eventually it's a big boot for a clearance. Only as far as Bedu Anoche. Sana. There is still an opportunity for Aduana, and it's a corner kick. Tight defending, heavy marking by Nations FC. We are into the last couple of seconds in this game. Who makes it to the final? Poorly taken corner kick. And it's the goalkeeper, Prince, who keeps it in play. He probably will send a long ball into enemy territory. Kufo beat into it. An opportunity, a shot is driven. And goalkeeper in the right place at the right time. Point blank shot, point blank save. And Barry scoring 4 marks. We have done 95 minutes. 90 minutes plus add-on time. Any moment from now, the referee's whistle will go for the end of the game. And it is Nations who book their first final in the MTN FA Cup. Wonderful scenes on the field of play. Frimpong Manso has made it to the top yet again with another club. Sad story it is for Aduana Football Club. The fans are happy. Razak Simpson has led by example, and as the captain, he has emerged the most valuable player at the end of it all. Marfo is dejected. Boachi is dejected. And there's the captain. Arthur is also dejected. Basically, they huffed, they puffed, and nothing came out of their efforts. Goalkeeper was beaten once, and that was earlier in the first half. And that was the only goal that separated these two sides. Congratulations to Nations, making it to their very first final. Tough, hard luck for Aduana. Osei Kufuor knows that he played his part, but it just wasn't enough. It's all over, it's done and dusted. And we'll be taking quick reactions, especially from the coaches, and of course the most valuable player, Razak Simpson. Work is done and dusted. Aduana will have to live and fight another day. Nations FC are in the final of the MTN FA Cup. They will await the winners, or the winner of tomorrow's second semi-final between Dreams Football Club and Mediama Sporting Club. It's all done and dusted here. Thank you very much for joining us. But of course, we'll be crossing over to pitch side where Josiah will have the final say. I've been doing this commentary with Coach Andy Sinnerson, and tomorrow beckons with yet another opportunity. Final score in this first semi-final of the MTN FA Cup for 2026. Aduana Football Club 0, Nations Football Club 1. Let's now move over to Josiah for the interviews.
Full time here at the Swedro Stadium, and it is Nations FC making history after 90 minutes. Courtesy Emmanuel Anos' goal scored in the 8th minute of the game. It means that Nations FC are into the final of the 2025-26 MTN FA Cup. Congratulations to them, but then commiserations to Aduana FC. Not the kind of result they had hoped for, but then I've been joined by the head coach of Aduana FC, Chiaiba Aristika. Coach, tough day for you, but How are you taking the defeat?
Yes, first congratulations from the nation about this win the game. Is coming after one mistake from our defensive line. You see, is the difficult about Alex, our captain today, is an injury, and I try put the Raymond central defender, but he have the mistake from the first 50-minute opponent is take the score. After I coming also from Anoche, one central defender is equilibration the game, but our middle and attacking line today is not have the more inspiration from the last pass. More last pass is coming the mistake, and no have clear opportunity to the score. This is our player, this is our squad. What can I do? I try the best, but today is the game from the nation. Our team no play what need from possible win the game, and is lose the competition and is go out.
You think you did enough today, looking at your tactical, substitutions, bringing on, your attackers? Sam Adams came on. You had Obeng coming on. You think it took too much time for you to throw them into the game when you were losing?
No, it's, let's speak the truth. What is the problem from our team? You see, he have the problem from the striker. About sometime he stay from the Mafu, from the striker is go only CDB, another striker, and Bright is another. Is have the problem. You see, the ball is coming from the attacking, but not half time from construction. Go from the winger is lose the very easy ball. But let's take the responsibility from the game, from the all the staff or the play about is not play only one game. This is our squad, this is our player, this is our level. You try the best. He coming from the semi-final, but maybe this is the maximum what is possible. Our team need take the really. Our management is here in the back and understand the situation, and I think is take the clear decide and see what happened from the team about is lose the competition from the cup. Now also in the league is have a chance from finish the top 4, but it's not too much big performance like this. Our management he tried the best. This is the level, this is the player what he have. Maybe in the future he need more attention from the selection or more attention from the staff, more attention from the squad about if you like take the league, if you like take win the cup, need selection from this level.
All right, thank you very much, Chair Barris. Commiserations again.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that is the head coach of Aduana Football Club. His side just lost to Nations FC by a lone goal, which means that they are out of the competition. Now joining me is the winning coach. Quite elated though, but he's not smiling. I don't know why he's not smiling. Coach, no. Tell me how does it feel like knowing that you are just a game away from winning a trophy with Nations FC?
Yeah, it feels great. You can feel it from the atmosphere. Everybody here around the game was very excited about the way the game was being played. And then more especially our fans and ourselves, we don't know how to even talk about it. Maybe later on we can celebrate it well. But for now, it's still like the game is going on, you see. But I'm telling you, it's a good feeling. Being the first team to qualify for the FA Cup final, yes, we are very, very excited.
On a day you were solid in defense, you left very few spaces for Aduana, but where was the motivation coming from, especially for a side that has struggled for majority of the season in the league?
Yeah, in the league we were struggling, but in the FA Cup we won almost our game. We didn't lose any game except for our quarter-final game against Chelsea, which we drew and then won on penalties. But I'm telling you, the boys were also the anger. You can see hunger, you can feel it from the boys. They wanted to play this game. The team has never won a trophy, and now they are in the finals. So that alone gave them the motivation to also go for the kill.
And most importantly, after Emmanuel had not scored that goal, did you have the belief that you could hold on, and see through to the end of the game, or you thought you could have gotten one or two more?
Yeah, in the second half, at least we could have finished the game even before the final whistle. But you could see we were squandering those chances. But all the same, the win was the most important. Today, you could see we were in control. In terms of defending, we did not give them any space. And then in the area balls, we were also winning most of the area balls. But if you could feel the shape, in the first half, we played with 2 attackers. And in the second half, we came and then spread to make it 4-3-3 so that we can control them on the flanks, which they did it very well.
Thank you very much. Congratulations once again. Let me have this one. So that's the head coach of Nations FC, that's Stephen Frimpong Manso, and he's on the brink of making history. He's on the brink of making history because he could be the first manager or head coach to win the league with one side, then the next season win the MTN FA Cup with another side. We'll dig into that later on to find out what more he's achieved. But as a man of the match, he just took his award. Razak Simpson, unplayable at the back, a rock. See, in defense. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I asked your coach how he was feeling and he couldn't explain it. Maybe you can find the words, put them together and tell me how you are feeling.
The same thing as coach, but I'll give God all the glory. If not for him, we would not have been here, we would not have won this match. Yeah.
Wow. But talk to me about the team performance. For a team that came close to winning the league last season, you finished 4th now, or 5th. This season has not really been good for you. But then, all of a sudden, you find yourself in the final of the MTN FA Cup.
Like you said, last season, we were contesting for the league, but a lot of the experienced players have gone out of the team, and we have inexperiences in this team this season. So, I don't know, maybe it's one of the factors that we are where we are. But right now, you could see how we are playing all the game. And yeah, I give God all the glory and credit go to our management and the coaches. Yeah.
But after Emmanuel Adok scored the goal, now the onus lied on you and the defensive unit to try and defend that goal till the end. How proud are you of the performance, yourself and the team's performance?
I will not take all the credit. Kudos to my defending partner, Asante Boyne. Like he has been helpful of me. Whenever I give command, he listens. Whenever I talk, he listens. So yeah, the back four. And going into this game, I thought Arno personally that he should score. And when he scored a goal, he should leave the rest to me. And yeah, that's what I did.
Wow, that's a top performance. Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Razak Simpson, our man of the match in today's TN first semi-final game at the Swedro Stadium. So as we speak, Nations FC, they just booked a place in the grand finale. They await the winner of that game involving Dreams FC and Mediama Sporting Club tomorrow. And I'm still here with my 2 gentlemen. We all enjoyed the game, certainly Coach Ernest Thompson and then also Francis Aboibo Blackgate. But Coach, you would want to summarize this what you just saw, what you just witnessed for me.
In short, Aduana didn't come to the party because they stuck to the same way of playing as they played in the first half when the second half started. And it wasn't impressive. And they were looking jittery. And I don't know. I still can't find words to describe what I saw about Aduana today. Because I know how they play, but it's football and it comes with its time. Every game comes with its own Aduana didn't come to the party, in short.
But Francis, would you say that the scoreline complements the results, which has the performance of both teams, or what we just witnessed?
Well, Josiah, the best team won on the day, because if you really look at what Aduana brought to the party, overwhelming underperforming performance from them. They didn't turn up in the biggest game of their season so far, because it's clear, prior to kickoff, they were out of contention for the Ghana Premier League title, and they really want to go back to Africa. This is the only route for them. But I don't know if it is tension or the match day fever that caught up with them, because the Aduana Stars that we know, in terms of attacking phases of the game, they didn't bring anything extra. They had no bite. They carried no extra threats in the attacking third of Nations FC. Nations FC looked very solid, very unbreachable on the day. And you look at their midfield, they were out of sort. Defensively, it wasn't working in the first time. When the coach even brought Anochi Bedu, it even worsened up the situation. Kept misplacing passes, kicking the balls left, right, center without any purpose. For me, Chioba Aristika will be very disappointed with the kind of performance they put out here today. And for me, they have let their fans down. This is it. They will just play to end in the top 4 for the season. But for me, I think this afternoon, they've been extremely poor in terms of what they brought on board today. But for Nations FC, because Frimpong Manso and his team, they played a very great game, very tactical, very disciplined. They stick to the game plan, and it worked with them to perfection. You look at in the entire second half, Aduana never looked like they were going to equalize this goal because Razak Simpson and Boahin basically played a perfect game at the heart of their defense. And we spoke about Boahin to be calm and composed in terms of the tackles. In the second half, he hit to the advice and he played perfectly. For me, the best team on the day won.
For Francis Aboibo Blackgate, the best team on the day won. And this is where we wrap up our presentation of the first semi-final game of the MTN FA Cup here from the Swedro Stadium. I was joined at pitch side by Francis Aboibo and then also Coach Ernest Thompson. But thanks so much for watching. Don't forget that the MTN FA Cup continues tomorrow because semi-final 2 will be underway at 3 p.m. But then pre-match discussions will begin at 2 from the Swedro Stadium. It's Dreams FC against Mediama Sporting Club tomorrow. My name is Josel Kukwe, and on behalf of everyone, we say thanks for watching and see you tomorrow. Bye for now.